To get settled, we'll start with the roller across the mat. We'll begin with a little bit with the upper back and shoulders, and then move into hips out. You just want to roll back and take the roller near the base of your shoulder blades. And we'll have a tucked tail so that the tail curls up, the waist is pulling back, like your back is hammocked here from the support of your shoulders to rib cage on the roller. Knees apart about 4 to 5 inches, so are the feet. And then we'll support the back of the head. Looking straight ahead, we'll start to look up the wall towards the ceiling. Arch back and open the chest as the head falls back into your hands. The elbows can drop to widen across the arms, the shoulders, and the top of your chest into your pecs. Now use your hands to tip the head up, look down your nose into the abdominals, and pull the elbows down again to broaden across the back and narrow across the chest. The tail curls up a little higher so your waist sinks down in flexion. And we're going to go into extension of the spine. The tail drops as you bring the gaze up and back. Let your head fall back. Elbows drop too. Gravity will assist you in this stretch here. Feel that yawning open from your jaw to the tail. And then we're pulling the line we just stretched into flexion. Looking down in towards your abs, the tail pulling up to roll your low back and feel that massage into the sacrum near the base of your spine. And then we arch back again. We're just starting to open the front of your body. May have been, collapse over a snow shovel this last weekend, or just sitting at your desk might be enough to tighten up the front line. We're going to start here, stretching the back, and then opening the chest, alternating. Typically in Pilates, we inhale into the extensions. That would be when the head is hanging back, the tail is rounded. And then exhale into flexion. As you come up, really press your ribs into the roller. Let it give you support, but also a little bit of massage right there in your upper shoulders and your upper back. And one more. Inhale to take it back. The belly lifts. You're going to stretch that whole rectus line from jaw to tail. And then exhale, use that line to pull you forward and up. The waist sinks down. The ends of the body curl in towards each other. And now keeping the hips rounded, twist to your left or your right, either way. And then we're going to the other side. And go down to the opposite hip and roll across the shoulder blades here. Getting a nice massage into the surface of your roller. Be sure you like the consistency of the roller. Here, the white ones are softer. The black ones are the hardest. The gray are in between. So it depends on your tolerance for pressure into your muscles, into your fascia, as to which you prefer. As you twist to one side, the opposite hip presses down. You're working into your obliques. Just twist from one side to the other. And let's even that off. Come center, maybe bring the heels in a little closer to your hips and pick up the hips. We're going to slide forward with the knees to roll up towards the top of the shoulders, but not on the neck. And then push off your legs to go down just to the base of your rib cage, so above the kidneys. The hips will lift and the head will drop as you pull the knees forward to roll to the upper back. And then lift your head, make upper back curl, pull the elbows down in, round the upper spine forward in flexion as you go towards the base of your rib cage. So we're doing this flexion and extension to intensify the pressure that you put into the roller to get more release into the muscles here. If the flexion extension doesn't work for you, just think of keeping a plank and going back and forth, and that also is really helpful. And then let's come back. You have to walk yourself back a little bit. Quads push you further back and the hamstrings pull you forward. And then rotate to one side and go up and down the outer edge of the blade here. Push and pull with your legs and get a deep tissue massage. This is the edge of your lat here. Okay. And then we'll go to the other side. Just a few here, but with deep pressure. And also, of course, the work in the back line of your legs into your glutes. And then come center again to lower the hips down. And then come up to sitting. We'll take the roller across under our leg. Maybe scoot forward a little bit. Bring your weight down to the hips, still on the mat. And then once you're down, bridge up, lifting the hips and sliding the roller across the widest part of your hips, right at the sacrum. So you can hold on to your roller, maybe elbows wide, and pull it gently in to prevent it from going forward. We'll inhale, pick up the right knee, and exhale, pick up the left. Press the legs together like it's one leg here. And then let's do the knee sways, tipping your knees over to the right and turning your head to the left. The pelvis rocks, so now hopefully the hips are facing the wall. Exhale, press into the arms, pull yourself back to center. Hip bones now pointing up towards the ceiling, and then inhale to the left. Look away, your right shoulder blade is grounded. See how much rotation you can find in your waist. And then exhale, press down or press into the edges of the roller as you come back up to center. And again, just turn your head away from the movement of your hips, away from the movement of your knees. The collarbones stay wide, the shoulders stay grounded as we go from side to side. We feel that massage across the glute from the lateral edge back in towards the sacrum. Pull back to center. Now we go over to the right again. We're going to pause there. Keep the rotation through the spine and keep the legs together as you do small circles with your knees. You can change the angle of the knees to get the massage into a particular place on the glute. Just trying to search for a spot that might be tight here. Often under the glute, we'll hit a little tightness in the piriformis, which runs from the center of your sacrum to the outer hip. And then reverse the circles now. Stirring the knees here in the air to get the massage into the glute. And then we'll exhale, come back to center, and then inhale, tip over to your left again. You can look to the right. And now circle the knees. Nice and slow and smooth. If you find a spot that really needs help, you might want to slow it down, even do micro movements right over that particular spot. And then we'll reverse. Breathing through it. A lot of times with leg circles, we'll do an inhale and an exhale for each circle. Just one more. And then exhale, let's pull the knees back to center and adjust the roll if you need to. And then we'll lift both legs up to the ceiling, stretching the toes up softly. Keep a little wiggle in the toes, a little space between your toes. And we'll start with a scissor split. So bring the right leg back towards your chest, the left leg out and down towards the floor. And then we'll inhale to switch the legs. One leg slowly descends and the other lifts up and back. While you're here, keep your gaze up to the ceiling and slightly forward. And you can tell as the leg goes down, we're working to open the front of the hip here. As the leg goes up and back, we're working to stretch the hamstring. See if you get both stretches in when you're at the big V here at the hip. So we switch on the inhale, and then we switch on the exhale. You might want to bend the knees a little bit to either lighten the load here or to really be sure that the stretch goes into the belly of the hamstring as the leg goes back and not into the sits bone or the back of the knee. Let's slide back and forth in space, each in its own lane, so they're about 4 to 5 inches apart as they glide forward and back. We'll just do one more. Just breathe through it at your own pace. And now lift the legs up to the ceiling. Exhaling, rotate the legs, so heels together, toes apart. And we'll leave the left leg up in the air as you take the right leg slowly out in an arc down towards the ground. Leave the thigh going right over the roller and press the opposite hip down as well. Exhale and pull from the upper inner thigh to close the leg slowly. Tap the heels together, and now the right leg is vertical, the left leg goes sideways and down. Like it slides down the outer edge of a rainbow, and then we're pulling it back up. Reach out a little further into space and lift it from the upper inner thigh. So alternating here, work to keep the pelvis grounded on both sides, even though you're changing the weight of your legs, but taking it out to one side and then bring it back to center. And we'll do this again. Work to feel that stretch in the upper inner thigh in a way that works for you. Drag it on up. We're moving slowly so that you're resisting gravity on the way down, but you're also resisting momentum on the lift. Press into your arms if you feel you want a little more support from your floor. We'll do one more to the left. And then exhale, bring the leg up with control. Tap the heels together. And now pull both legs apart sideways. They go from the apex of the rainbow down towards the ground. And then exhale, pull up towards the ceiling again. Heels lightly touch and then come apart again. So we're working here from the outer thighs to pull the legs open and the upper inner thighs to pull the legs together. It's a different sensation from working from your feet. We're going to work more proximally, closer to center, to get a little bit more work into the core. And one more time. Exhale to pull both legs up and then close at the top. Now let's go to parallel legs again, and then bring your right leg back, left leg forward. We're doing semicircles here with the legs to really help the hips feel more relaxed and open. So the legs move sideways in space, they circle around in a half circle, and then they scissor switch through. And we'll do that again. Circle around. You're in your scissor split, and then bring the legs past each other. And one more of those. And scissor split. Now let's split in the other direction. And then circle the legs out wide around to the side. And scissor split through the midline. Circle again, semicircle here, but just drawing a big circle on the ceiling above you. And scissor split. And one more time. And both legs up to the sky. Let's bend your knees. Exhale, lower your feet down. Get your heels down, lift your hips up, and then rotate the roller underneath you so you're on a fresh spot under your sacrum. And a little bit higher up in case of foot forward. Now we'll leave the left foot grounded in front of the hip joint and pull the right knee into your chest. Extend that leg up to the ceiling and back over your rib cage as much as you can. Soft point through the foot, and we lower that leg forward and down to tap the heel to the ground. Opening the hip here. Lengthen through the center of the foot, exhale and bring it on up. If that seems like it's a lot for your back, if the back is too arched with this, you can pull your left knee into your chest and just leave it like that. That'll take some of the arch out of your spine. But meanwhile, we're lowering the right leg out and down, regardless of the left leg position. Touch the heel down. You can also bend the knee if you need to slacken the stretch in the hip. Exhale and scoop the air, pulling the leg up through the air and push it back over your shoulder. We'll do that again. So draw an arc through the air, nice and slow and calm. Reach it out, touch it down, lengthen before you lift it. Exhale to protect your back before you lift the leg up in the air. Bring it up to the ceiling, and then let's switch your legs. Right one down, left leg up. Switch it high and pull it back. Again, you can find the hamstring stretch as the leg comes over your ribs, over your chest. And then reach out through that foot softly through the center of the foot, the third metatarsal. Go long, touch the heel down, lengthen, feel the stretch across the top of your leg. And that also is going to stretch your psoas deep inside your body. And let's press the leg forward again. Double check that there's weight onto the inside of your right foot, your standing foot, so that you feel some work through the inside line of your leg while you do this. And then also watch that the moving leg, your left leg here, isn't drifting sideways or across your center line. Keep it aligned with the hip joint. Exhale, breathe out to pull the leg up, get the support into your core. And then one more time, the leg glides forward, out and down. Heel touches at the bottom, lengthen the leg, reach to the center, not through the toes, and exhale to bring it on up. And then you can bend that knee and exhale, lower the foot down. Now we'll extend the right leg forward. Again, if you want, you can pull the left knee in if it's too much arch in your back, or you check the position of the roller underneath you. And then we'll take the right arm back by your ear and just rest the back of your hand on the ground. You'll be at a bit of an arch here. The highest point should be the hip bone crest here, supported by the roller. And you want to lengthen away from it, down through your toes, across your chest, and down through the fingertips here. Just breathe into the stretch. Deep breath in and exhale the air out slowly. And again here, breathing in, exhale it out. And then the arm will lower forward. You can slide the foot back in. And here we go for the left side. So extend the left leg out. So the back of the thigh, the hamstring dropping to the ground, melting towards the floor as we lift the left arm up and back. Back of the hand is supported by the ground. So is the left heel. Maybe stretch a little bit if you want. Maybe add a little bit of a side bend stretch to this. See where you need to open up that front line on the left. A couple of more breaths here. Deep breath in. Sigh the air out as you exhale. And one more slow breath in and out again. We can pull both knees in. Feet are grounded. Lift your hips up and take the roller out from underneath you, and then reach down, working through the upper back and the back, the lower back. And then just stretch your legs forward, the arms back. Hopefully feeling that you've opened up the whole front of your body, your hips more relaxed. And then with the edges of your feet together, we'll lift the arms for a roll up, weight into the shoulder blades, lift your head, neck, and shoulders. Big exhale to pick up your ribs. Pull the waist back as you dive over your legs, stretching forward. Maybe curl the toes back and take your hands wherever they reach on your legs. We'll do some roll-ups here. If you want to add ankle weights, sure, to help keep the legs grounded, that's perfect. And then we'll start to roll back. So first, articulate the spine up, bringing the arms parallel to the ground. Lift them higher if you want a little bit more weight to challenge your core. Take them lower if you want to control your descent. So you choose the height of your arms that works for you to go down one vertebra at a time. Reaching out to the center of your feet. Go all the way down into the shoulders. Lay the head back and stretch the arms by your ears. Now it would be different if you wanted to use a TheraBand around your feet. That's another option, in which case the arms would stay lower. And you can pull with the arms as you come up, like pull into the band. So you pull your body up and round over. At that point, you just dive the head down. And then we're stacking the spine up, whichever version you're choosing, arms free or TheraBand assist. And then look down, curl the tail up, rotating your pelvis around the top of your legs, around your fingerheads. And imprint your spine down into the ground, vertebra by vertebra. Yawn your body open to the sky as you reach back with your fingers and forward to the center of each foot. And we'll lift the arms again. The higher the arms, the more you'll have to find that work in your core. Pull yourself up, pull the waist back, stretch your back into a C shape as you dive over. Body like a horseshoe resting on its edge. And then we're coming back, articulating up. And take it back one more time. So gaze forward down your midline. Push the feet away from you as you curl the tail up and then roll your spine into the ground, articulating one vertebra at a time, sequencing the spine to the ground. We stretch, we yawn the body open, and we lift one more time. Inhale to start the lift, head, neck, shoulders. Roll the shoulders in slightly to get around your back. And exhale, pounce over your legs, dive your head down low. And then stack your spine all the way up to sitting tall. Beautifully done. All right, we're going to roll back into our hundreds. So maybe have the knees a little bent. And the arms go forward. Even pull the shoulders forward. Feel how that allows the ribs to go back, because that's going to be helpful when we come to the upper curl to take you out of your neck. So we curl back. The arms to reach forward. You round your spine coming down. You're going to stop at the tip of your blades and pull the knees in, arms parallel to the ground. Extend the legs up if you want more load. And even bring them a bit more forward. Just watch your waistline is pressing to the ground. Inhaling to start pumping the arms. We inhale for 5 beats and exhale for 5 more. Hopefully doing 10 counts of this, 10 breaths. You stay high with the head and think of this sort of diving down like an arrow into the navel. Your gaze will stay fixed onto the abdominal wall. So you can inhale and watch the belly expand and lift, and exhale, watch it contract and deepen. Keep a steady pulse. If you need to have one hand behind your head for support and pump the other arm, just change with every breath. Also, it's helpful sometimes to take the ball behind your back to give yourself a little support, even behind your head, if that's really what you need to do right now. So the legs squeeze in. You can try taking them a little bit lower. If you can maintain the waistline push into the mat, that would be great. Otherwise, the legs come back up. And let's just go for one more breath here. Deep full breath in. Exhale completely. And then fold the knees in. Roll your head back down and turn your head easy from side to side. We'll grab the TheraBands next. We're single and circles. In this exercise, we want to keep the pelvis grounded. We'll challenge that stability by moving the leg smoothly and fluidly through the air. So let's put the band on the right foot, follow the foot in the arch, and then anchor the elbows down by your waistline. Lift the leg up to get the stretch in the back of your leg, and maybe do a little point and flex of the foot, heel ball toe, and toe ball heel, to also stretch into your calf muscles. Really helpful for the feet to have this articulation from toe to heel, heel to toe. And now let's lower that leg a little bit forward. Stretch the left leg forward if you haven't already. And we will start circling the leg. Bring it across the body on an inhale. Go a quarter of the distance of the circle, go low. Exhale and rotate. You're exhaling all the way up to the top while keeping the pelvis grounded. So the leg does a little internal rotation to start the crossover. And then exhale, and keep the exhale going, going, going. We want to feel the abdominal wall contraction at the top of the movement. You breathe out until there's nothing left to give, and then we do it again. So stretch, the leg rotating inward gives you a little bit more of a lateral stretch across the hip and the thigh. Exhaling here, around to the top. We could anchor the right hip down before the right leg moves left, and then go low. Then anchor the left side down before the leg moves to the right. So we're prepared for the extra weight as the leg reaches away from center. One more in this direction. Reach further and further with the foot out into space. Keep the elbows grounded. And then we'll pause at the top to reverse. Exhale, rotate to bring the right leg to the right. The left side presses into the floor for more stability. All the way down, circle the leg across the body and bring it up high. So that reach that leg in the back of your legs. And this rotation that we're doing with the leg and the hip joint helps really open up the hip muscles and also sort of massage and loosen up the joint itself. This action like really works into the synovial fluid, so it becomes less granular and more like an oil to soften the surfaces, to make everything move more softly, more fluidly. Here we go again. We press the leg out to the side. Maintain control from your arms, the elbows grounded, to help you control the lack of movement really of your body on the mat. And here we go. We're going to lift the leg up and then take both ends of the band in your right hand. Anchor your elbow, rotate the leg externally, then bring the right leg out to the side, left hand on left hip bone to keep the pelvis grounded on the left side of your body. And rock the right leg gently towards your right shoulder. Back and forth here. Bend the knee if you need to. For more control, for more stretch. And then we'll exhale to pull the leg up to the ceiling and switch hands at the top of the movement. You can extend the right arm out, turn your head to look along the arm now to the fingertip. If you keep the right hip down first and pull the leg across the body, you'll get more stretch in the lateral hip, in the hamstring and lateral quad. But then if you go ahead and peel the hip off, you'll get more stretch into the glute and the low back. As far as you want to reach with that leg, anchor down through the right shoulder blade as a counter force. And then let's pull the leg towards your shoulder and also rotate the right leg internally to get more stretch in a different place. And now we'll exhale, unwind the body, come down from your left shoulder to your waist to the right glute, so the leg lifts high. Bring it up, and then let's walk our hands up the band towards the foot. Get ready to come to your upright curl, so lift your head, look down your nose at your abs. Pull your head and chest up, you can pull with the arms. You can also pull the leg back in, closer towards your chest, towards your face. So working the strength in the upper abdominals and the stretch in the back of your leg. And then lay your spine down, release the look forward, and fold the knee into your chest, the band comes off. Let's pull that right knee into your right chest wall and switch the left leg longer. And then just pull the right knee towards the right armpit while holding the left side grounded. A little more upper inner thigh, and maybe a little more stretch across the front of the pelvic girdle here. Pull that knee back into your right chest wall. And then extend the leg forward, stretch out. Shake both legs a little bit. And then relax them. Feel the difference in height from the ground, length, energy, and just like general awareness, right to left. You also probably feel that the right rib cage and waist have also fallen deeper towards the ground. The left side is a little bit pulled away, elevated here. So we'll do the left side now. So first, let's just pull the left leg in. It's nice that I always to admire the work that you did and admire the changes that happened. So here we take the band of the left foot and lift the leg up, slide the elbows forward and down, and then pull the leg back. Let's feel a little initial stretch here in the back of your leg. The knee might be bent a little bit, so you take the tension out of the back of the knee and the sit bone attachment for the hamstrings. So from here, bent leg or straight, we want the leg as vertical as possible. And then do a point flex of your foot, roll the toes down, lift the heel up, then reach up through the balls of the feet and curl the toes up and a little bit forward over the band. Elbows still anchored, elbows sliding towards your waist so the shoulders are away from your ears, elongating the neck. Heel ball toe and toe ball heel. The lift of the heel helps you stretch the calf. The pull back of the foot and the leg in general just helps you stretch out the hamstring. You're going to find the angle that really works for your body right now. And then go into a soft point, lower the leg slightly, so it's easier to rotate the right here. And we rotate the leg internally, bring the left leg across to the right, push it low and down, just skim over the other leg, skim off the mat, out to the side and external rotation, and back to the top in neutral. And we circle again. Reach and keep pushing out into the foot, out into the band. Let the band help support the weight and movement of your leg as you draw a beautiful circle in the air. So we're going to reach forward to the first quarter of the circle you're drawing, and then exhale slowly. Keep exhaling, exhaling, exhaling all the way to the top. Notice the abdominal wall contraction is the transversus, the deepest muscle. Pulls tight like a corset here. And then we reach again. Imagine that we're moving the leg through water and not air, and really push it aside. Create waves in the atmosphere, but also find space for your leg to move through the atmosphere around you. Now here at the top, we'll pause and reverse, right side heavy as the leg reaches to the left. You push it forward and down. Drag it across, pull it up, it floats up to the ceiling, and then out to the side again. You can track the sensation of the stretches all the way around 360 degrees around the top of the leg here. The other leg stable, the hip stable, the leg reaching, stretching, searching for more space, more distance, more length. Most of the times our legs are really controlled and restricted. It's nice to sort of let them go and explore the area around. So here at the top, let's take both ends of the band in the left hand. Rotate leg externally. Right hip is getting heavier as you can even push it down with your right hand. And then bring the left leg out to the left. Bend the knee as you need to. And then rock the legs slowly, gently, small movements towards the left shoulder and away. Try to push the right hip down a little heavier into the ground. It'll be more work, but it'll also be more stretch. And then let's exhale to bring the leg up to the ceiling, switch hands at the top. And we'll cross the leg over, keeping the left hip down. Also, maybe think of like taking your hand to the hip bone crest and reaching out for your sits bone here as you pull the leg back. And then we can extend the arm, lift the hip, and go into more of a spinal rotation. Reach out through the sole of the foot, reach out through your fingertips on the ground. And now we rotate that left leg internally and pull it back towards the right shoulder just a bit. Knee bent or straight, either way. Accommodate your body so it feels safe and protected while it stretches. And now we'll unwind the body, pull the hip down to the ground to lift the foot up to the ceiling. And then let's walk our hands up the band here. And we're going to lift your upper curl. So head, neck, shoulders. Pull the shoulders slightly forward so the scapula come around towards the front of the rib cage. And then use the abdominals, pull yourself up a little higher, deeper towards your leg, pull the leg back towards your chest at the same time. You'll feel that work. A little bit of work in the arms, lots of work in your core. And then release out of it and fold the knee into your chest. The band comes up and discard it off to the side. Pull your left knee in. If your knee doesn't like this much compression, just hold onto the back of your thigh. That'll open the knee joint to where it's comfortable with the bend. And then we'll bring that left knee out to the left, towards the left armpit. Put a little more weight in the right hip and actually any part of your body touching the mat on the right side. And then let's pull that knee back into center, pull it to the left chest. And then let it slide forward and out. Shake out your legs. Move your hips a little bit side to side and then relax and see that we come back into balance. Both legs equally long, equally relaxed, equally at ease. Okay, so we're rolling up again. So lift the arms, stretch them behind you. And bring yourself up in a roll up. Head, neck, shoulders. Exhale, up with the ribs. Roll the waist back, the hip forward and down. And then stack your spine coming upright to sit near the front of your mat for rolling like a ball. Here's if you want to connect more with your inner thighs, you can take the ball between your inner thighs. Also, a more advanced version would be to take the ball between your heels and your sits bones to keep the heels glued in as you roll. Or you don't have to do either of those, but we do want to sit here and first sit upright on your sits bones, rolling the collarbones, lifting your head up, feel the length of your spine, and then choose to look down your nose, do a little upper arc curl, elbows widen and go forward, and you curl the tail towards your gaze. Right back a little bit onto your sacrum so your feet will lift. We're going to push back with the hands into the shins and forward with the shins into your hands. Elbows the width of your shoulders, the width of your armpits, and the edges of your feet together. As we look down, inhale, we curl the tail up to shift our balance. We go back to the shoulder blades, butt in the air, and then exhale, come right back where you started. So it's an inhale to roll back smoothly. You want a curved spine to roll your blades, and then keep the curve as you come forward. So important not to lift your gaze, because as soon as you do that, your back flattens, and then you go pounding down into the mat. More like a plank, less like a ball. But try to hold that C curve of your spine as you roll back. And then also as you come forward, head never touches the ground. So only use as much energy as you need to go back to balance point on your shoulder blades. So the air, exhale to bring yourself back up where you started. And again, You want to hold the strength of this position with the arm and the leg connection. And maintain the integrity of the curve of your spine with your gaze. So keep looking down towards your belly, down towards your pubic bone as you roll. And also as you come forward and up. Just do one more for me. Nice and smooth, roll back. Of course, you need enough padding under your back so that it feels good to your spine while you roll. This is good. And you guys are all working equally right to left. So you're going in a straight line back and a straight line forward. Lovely. So into the ab series next. So we'll pull the right knee into your chest, right hand above the ankle, left hand below the knee. And pick up the knee, curl the tail up, roll down and float the left leg up as a counterweight as you go down to your best upper up curl. Pull the leg in as tight as your knee will allow. And push up with the shin and down with both hands. From up the arms, from up the core, and we slowly switch the legs. Right leg forward, left one in, left hand by the ankle, right hand by the knee. And we switch. Inhale for one leg. Exhale, that leg stretches forward as the other one pulls in deep and the shin pushes up. We're going to feel that connection from your hand to your upper abdominals. And then work through your legs as we slowly move the legs back and forth. Watch that your toes stay soft, that you're not over pointing your feet and cramping out your foot or your ankle or your calf. When we're set like this, pull it in tight and then stretch it out. The torso stays at the same upper ab curl. And then let's pull both knees into your chest and lay your head down. All right. So here, let's lift the feet up towards the ceiling. Just do another point flex. And maybe bring the feet apart a little bit and do circles with your toes here. And then reverse the circles. That's not really part of the classical series, but sometimes it feels really good. So close the legs, bend the knees in, and roll forward and up. To roll back to your best upper curl now for a double leg stretch. So we center again. Arms can go forward. Let's roll back. And as you go back to your upper ab curl, stop when you feel the tip of the blades touch and pull the knees in. One hand to each shin, elbows widen forward. Pull your chest a little closer to your legs and narrow the chest by pulling the elbows widen forward. Now push up with your shins, down with your hands. Feel that work and then extend arms and legs to the sky, fingers and toes. Circle wide with the arms, find that embrace and reconnect by pushing hand and leg into each other. That'll also help you lift a little higher into the curve and then stretch, embrace it all in. Remember, your gaze must stay down. It's really tempting to bring the gaze up to follow your feet as they lift towards the ceiling. But as soon as you do that, you'll come out of your upper ab curl and get more work in the neck, less work in the abs. So look down your nose into the abdominal wall. The shape can gradually open up as long as you can keep your waistline imprinted into the ground and preventing yourself from falling backwards with the shoulders. Reach one more time. Exhale, pull it in tight. And now lay your head down and turn your head easy side to side. All right, we're rolling forward and up again. All right, and then you can just look down, look up, give your neck a little release here. It's just in case you need it. And we're going to roll back now for scissors. So we already did a version earlier in the warm-up, but as we come down again, upper ab curl, right leg lifts up high, hands reach up towards your ankle, the left leg reaches forward and down, out across the room. We're going to inhale and switch the legs, and exhale, switch again. Our goal here is to keep that upper ab curl even when we release both legs and we're hands-free, and then recommit to the other upper ab curl when you do get that connection, hand to leg, leg to hand. Now, the leg goes up, you want to feel a stretch in the back of your leg, even though you might want to bend your knee to have a little bit more range of motion, and feel that stretch in the belly of the hamstring and not at the edges of it, at the ends of it. Since we can stretch muscles in their center, but not really at their tendons. Okay, bring both legs up, take your hands behind your head, pull the head up, look down and in with the elbows pointing towards your navel. And this movement is really small. We're suspending the weight of your legs from your deep psoas, which is attached to your spine. So we're just going to move the feet forward an inch to a couple of inches, and then exhale, bring it on up. Moving slowly and carefully like this ensures that you feel what your abs can support. And don't go to a place where your back feels worried or anxious, that it's arching, that it's not supporting your core, isn't supporting your spine. We're going to stretch the legs, squeeze them in for a little bit more connection into the abdominal wall. And let's do that again. The feet slide slowly out across the ceiling. Exhale, lift them here. The hands lifting the head and tipping it down to look down into the abdominal wall the whole time. All right, and then fold your knees in and rest. Everyone good in their backs? This is a serious load for your low back. So we do want to always proceed with caution in that exercise. And still get a good workout, right? So now we're coming up again to your upward curl. Maybe have your hands behind the back of your thighs. Pull the elbows wide forward, lift your head, neck, shoulders, narrow in. Round your back, come to a deep upward curl. And then pull the right leg in, keep your hands behind your head. And we twist to the right as the left leg extends out. And then we twist to the left as the right leg lengthens forward. Come up and forward. Try to roll here and feel the tip of your blade supporting you as you pull up and away from it. I like to think of armpit towards the upper inner thigh. The hips stay grounded here as the legs shoot straight out and straight back. They're not wildly flailing out to the side or crossing over center. They maintain their line of action, their line of movement, while we rotate and lift the shoulder and chest. We'll end to the left and come back to center and let everything down. All right, from here, just let your weight of your head be heavy. We'll do one hand to each knee and small circles here, moving the knees in a circle to help open the hips and relax the low back. Eventually in this workout, the 5 different abdominal series exercises just flow one from the other. While you're still building strength into it, it can be really useful to take some of these small movements in between to release and relax the body between that effort. All right, and then legs together and roll up to sitting for spine stretch. In this exercise, if your hamstrings are tight, you might want to elevate your hips, either sitting on a couple of yoga blocks, one yoga block, depending. Books work. Lower in a pinch, though, it tends to get flat and that isn't so good for its longevity. So it might be good for yours. So let's take the arms forward for spine stretch. And let me push down with the arms, lift the chest, lifting up through your halo. And then look down. Let the weight of your head start to stretch your neck. Move your neck forward by moving your head forward. Pull the shoulders back. And then continue going over. We're moving the upper back, the mid back, the low back. Again, pulling the vertebra one by one from the top of the head all the way down to the tailbone. Press down with your heels, press down with your sits bones, and stack your spine up by pulling back and then lifting your back as if it's coming up a wall behind you. Come all the way upright. As the chest lifts, the eyes lift. And we'll do that again. So look down, the nose tilts down, your gaze down your nose towards the ground. The head goes forward, move first the neck. So we're not going to start by pulling at the waist. We're going to wait for the movement to happen from one vertebra to the next. At the same time as your head's going forward, you might even pull your waist back to get a little more C-curve stretch in that lumbar curve where it tends to be tight. And then we can press down and curve the back up and then zip it up the wall. We can now here lift the arms up to the ceiling, look up at the space between your hands. Imagine squeezing the ball from your armpits here so the elbows rotate slightly internally. And now lift your chest, lift your eyes, lift the ball and roll it on the ceiling behind you. We're trying to have a vertical lower torso and then waterfall the chest, the neck, and the head slightly back, as if you're leaning your shoulders over the top of a low wall. And then release out of it. The ball goes forward. Imagine taking that ball across the ceiling, down the wall onto the floor. And then rest the ball down between you. And then we're gonna lift from the low back, from the mid back, from the upper back, from the shoulders. Lift your gaze and lift that ball up to the ceiling and roll it back between your hands. A little bit of the ceiling behind you. And then we're reversing out of it. The ball rolls forward, your gaze on that imaginary ball. Look down as the ball lowers down the wall towards the ground. And then it rolls in across the floor towards you as you suck your waist back and round your back. All right, and then let's pull the heels in. And we'll go into open leg balance and rocker. So the arms are between the legs, hold on to the top of your ankles and curl the tail up, pull the waist back, round your low back. And then we pick up the feet. Arms press into the inner side of the leg, the legs press into the arms. And we'll extend the right leg up slowly. You can rotate the arm around to the outer calf. You can also hold on to the back of your thighs, a lot easier. And then you can bring the leg down either way, right? So if you have your hands to the thighs, make the elbows wide and suck the waist back. And then we'll extend the left leg, stretch it up. It may or may not straighten, work your hamstrings here into more length, and then bring it back down. And then we'll take the right. So if you're really tight in the back line, what will happen sometimes is that your body will pull backwards because the lift of the heel like drags into the back line of the muscles in the back of your body, and that pulls you back, sort of flattening you. But by doing this, just go where you can maintain that position on your sacrum and extend the leg as far as you can. This will gradually start to open this up. So if your hands are on top of your shins, we'll take the leg out and the hand can rotate around to the back of the calf so you have a good grip. And then as you fold the knee in, the hand to the top. So again, you have a good grip here, and then let's do it once more for the left. And bring it back in. All of this is a balance challenge for us. And then both legs, they go up, they separate, narrow just to the width of the shoulders, and then pull the heel connection back in towards your tail. While you do this, the shoulders are relaxed. I know, that's a dream, right? So lower back down. But we do want to distinguish between lifting the arm and lifting the shoulder blade. So we take the legs up, the shoulders stay grounded. Now let's hold the legs here, whether you're holding, again, anywhere on your legs. Maybe take your heads a little more to the back of the calf and get a grip onto the belly of that muscle. Look into your abs and we roll. So you curl the tail up to shift your weight. Over your shoulder blades, head stays off. Exhale forward to find your balance point. Good, and then we do it again. Roll back, tail in the air, head off the ground, come up. Couple more of these. And if you feel yourself start to like into balance and let's go forward, try pulling your waist back a little bit. Oops. So we work our balance wherever we are, even when we're chatting. All right. So when we're here, tail goes up, rolling back, exhale, head comes forward to bring you back up, and then fold the legs down. Narrow the knees in, and we'll grab the TheraBand, close to the straight. So we're going to roll back here with the spine, extending the arms forward, curve the back down into the ground. All of these spinal articulation exercises work to like really help us isolate the different vertebrae and work the muscles around them, as well as strengthening the abdominal wall to release us down inch by inch by inch. All right, so pull the knees in, and we'll take the band around the soles of the feet, lift the feet up to the ceiling. Anchor your elbows down at your side, soft point with your balls of your feet up in the air. And we want to keep the pelvis grounded as we bring the legs a little bit over to the right and then circle forward and down. We're going to draw a circle about the size of a basketball on the ceiling, coming up to the top and then reverse. So we get a bit of a massage here around the SI joints. But you also want to feel the obliques trying to keep the pelvis level against the weight and slow movement of your legs. Now this movement does get bigger, so we're going to prep for that in one set. Finish going from right to left, and then ending, moving the circle from left to right. At the top here, we're going to tip the legs over to the right, then lift the hip, only go as far as you can go without falling over. And then exhale, pull the left hip down to bring the legs up and back to center. And then now pick up your right hip bone to take the legs over to the left. Anchor through the right side of your body, even as you're pushing the left arm into the floor. And exhale, coming back. The left hip lifts and continues to lift to bring the hips and the legs therefore to the right. Then we're going to pick up the right hip bone, roll across the sacrum, and sweep your legs over to the left. So we're not moving from the feet. We're trying to move from our waist, from our oblique abdominals, by moving the pelvic row from one side to the other, tipping the hips to tip the legs. And use that abdominal workout to bring the legs back over to the left. And back we go. All right, and then fold the knees in. And I think I'm just going to show you, or actually have you do an exercise that uses that control here from the abdominals into your hips. So go ahead and lean back on your forearms. And here, in order to protect the back, you want to sort of like drag your waist back so you have a little bit of a tug, of a pull into a pelvic tuck, and then pull one knee into your chest and then the other one. And then we're going to lift the legs slightly up to the ceiling, right? So don't fully extend them yet, but you're trying to imprint your waistline down as the tail curls up. And now rotate the hips to bring the knees over, slightly forward to the other side and back to center. Feel that massage into the sacrum, the SI joints, and do it in the other direction. Head stays up, so you want to think of a little bit of a curl forward through your eyes, through your chest, through your neck and your head. Because if you let your head fall back and arch, you're not going to be as protected in your low back. So we just sort of in one direction, think of moving your hips to move your knees. And then reverse, other direction. If it seems like this is good, do one more. If you want a little bit more, take the legs up higher. And then do the same, like rolling across with the hip bone to massage out the low back. Try to maintain a feeling of upper arm curl 2 while you do this. And one more set. Bent knees or straighter. This one's called hip circles. And then we fold the knees in and then come up to sitting. Let's just end here with a little side bend. So swing your feet over to one side. Leg position is variable, so you could have like a wide Z sit here, almost like a figure 4 with the sole of one foot against the thigh of the other. You could have the legs stacked. If you have enough leg to kind of sit upright through here. Or if this all seems like not right for you, you can just sit with your legs in front of you and still do this. So we're going to start whichever variation you want and hold your hand to your shin, lift the other arm up in the air and side bend, pulling with the arm, opening up your side ribs, letting your head fall towards the ground, and breathe into that open side of your ribs, into that lung. Come upright, stacking hip, waist, ribs, close them one by one. Lift the head, take the arm down. And now we're going to slide the hand down along your mat, go to your elbow, and then scoop the arm over. Now push down with your arm to lift the inner edge up, and then dive the upper arm over and reach from your fingertip to your armpit to your sits bone on that side. And then we're coming up. You can push into the arm, but try to also drag yourself up from your obliques on your side seam. And now we're side bending towards your bent legs. So we're going over, stretch. Come upright, feeling of lift like you got filled with helium. The head floats you up. And then over we go, slide down onto your elbow. Push the ground away, so you lift your armpit, you like scoop out that area underneath you as you side bend here. Press down to come up. And over we go. All the way upright, and then let's swing the legs to the other side. And it might feel different, right? So you might have to choose a different leg position, whatever's right for this hip or your knees. And then we're going to hold onto the shin. And then lift the opposite arm up and side bend towards your shin here. You can look up towards your fingertips if you feel like your head is falling forward, just to keep your head back aligned with your sideline. And then come up and over we go. So diving here. Press into the ground, pull up from your hip, from your ribs. And side bend over. Reach from your fingertip to your armpit to your hip. Come upright and over again. Sometimes we do this with the roller. That's a little higher. This gives you a little bit more stretch. The other gives you a little more support. And then push in, come up. And one more side bend away from your hips. Okay, and then lower the arms. We'd come up to standing and end with a standing swan. So we want to take our hands below our navel above our pubic bone and stand with the feet a little apart so you feel comfortably weighted right to left. Push your belly in with your palms of your hand with your fingertips and start to pull that up. Feel like you're lifting the flesh, you're going to come up. Imagine you can pull the navel up an inch or so. As you approach the rib cage, you're going to turn the palms up, the thumbs out, so that the pinky edge of your hand and your pinky finger edges are pressing into the bottom ribs. Lift the ribs one by one as you bring your hands up towards your chest, pick up your chest, and then slide your hands to your sternum. Slide your fingers up the sternum to your collarbone, to the little knobs here. You tap them, and then slide your hands along the collarbones to your shoulders. Then pick up your heart, pull the elbows back down and in towards your tail. And then as you go backwards and over the bra line, take your hands to your head, support your skull with your thumbs, the base of the occipital ridge. And then you can take your head back further if you want to. Feel that stretch. The body is basically vertical up to almost the base of the sternum, and then you waterfall backwards there. And then come out of it, you start at the base. So imagine a zipper from your pubic bone to your navel, zipping up towards your sternum, towards your throat, and then the gaze is back at the thoracic. So from the side, it should look like you are just going up, up, up with the front of the body, and then with the shoulders pulled together and waterfall backwards. So that it's basically a vertical position until you do that upper back extension, upper thoracic, neck and head. And to come out of it, don't bring your head forward first. You need to support again from the bottom to the top. So knit together from the pubic bone up the body, pull the ribs back and down in front of your body to widen them at the back, and then you end up looking straight ahead. Everybody feel okay in your back and in your neck? Good. Do it one more time. So stand here, a little press in at the flesh. Let's lift it. Coming up, flip the palms to the ceiling. Pick up your ribs one by one. Pick up your chest. Slide your head up your sternum. Imagine it's more elastic. It does have some elastic properties to it, even though it's bone. And then we're going to slide the fingers across to the collarbones, to the shoulders. Now, lift your heart a little higher, lift your eyes a little higher, pull the elbows back down and in, and then take your thumbs, support the back of your skull, If you want, you can go further back with your head if your neck is happy with this, otherwise don't. And then support your head with one hand, maybe the other hand to the low abdominals, and think of zipping it up, knitting it together, bottom to top. Look straight ahead and relax your arms down. Roll your shoulders a couple of times. And now standing here, take a deep breath in. And exhale it out. All right, and we're good for today. Really good job. Thank you all for being here and doing Pilates today.